Hey, what is going on everyone? It is me, Mr. Mario, and today, yes, I'm bringing you another vlog-style video. This is my kind of after wrap-up thoughts of E3 2014. Now, unless I find a need to make another E3 video, I probably won't, and hopefully the white balance will be okay on this video due to the fact that I'm using my PlayStation in the background here, and it's not... The reason why the white balance went crazy on my Wii video, my Nintendo Wii U video, is because I had the Wii U playing in the background here, and it's very, very bright. And my room is kind of dark because one of my light bulbs burned out, which I didn't even know until my roommate came in here. He's like, damn, why is it so dark? But I'm probably going to have to get a new light bulb tomorrow because they provide me with light bulbs, which is cool. I just have to go to the office to get them. But anyways, we're not talking about light bulbs in here. We're going to talk about E3, what I thought of it overall, and hopefully this video will not be as long as my other 3 videos. In case you did not see any of my last 3 videos, each one was a conference wrap-up for Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo respectfully. Now, altogether, it was probably about 80 minutes of me talking, so it was either watch a movie or watch Mario talk. So I understand if you wanted to watch that movie, it's okay. And every year, those videos do get a considerably lower amount of views than the other content I push out, but I still make them because this year I actually was not going to make them, but a few people were asking for them, and if people ask for them, I'm just like, the way I thought of it was, well, you know what? I'll upload them, the people who want to watch them will watch them, and the people who don't want to watch them will skip over them, so doesn't really hurt me. Anyways, what did I think of E3 2014? Well, we had conferences the first 2 days. I did not see the EA or the Ubisoft conferences. However, then we had some exciting games. We had some announcements. And first off, what I want to say is, where is my Kingdom Hearts? That is what I want to know. We had Kingdom Hearts 3 announced last year at E3, and it said it is now in development. But there is Kingdom Hearts 2.5 coming out, which I already have pre-ordered. And I want to know what the status of Kingdom Hearts 3 is. Is that too much to ask? Because Square, honestly, the games you're doing now, like, you went down for a bit, and now you come back up. But people want an RPG. And when people want RPG, they are specifically talking, they want you to push out Kingdom Hearts 3, and they want you to get off this Final Fantasy 13 fetish sensation, just obsession that you have. Like, seriously, we were supposed to have one Final Fantasy 13 game, and Final Fantasy 13 Versus. Versus never showed up, because Versus got delayed so much that it actually skipped over 14, because 14 is online, and it is now going to be Final Fantasy 15. And Final Fantasy 13 got 13-2 and Lightning Returns. It got 2 sequels. While as what we got... Enough. Okay. I like my Kingdom Hearts, okay? And Final Fantasy 13 is cool. I don't have anything against it. But damn it, Square. Like, I want something that's not Final Fantasy 13. I'm not saying it's bad. But I just want something that is not Final Fantasy 13. But we got Final Fantasy Type O announced, which, from what I've seen, a friend was telling me that it was a Vita game and it is going to be coming over to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. But how did all the conferences, the systems, the announcements stack up? Well, first off, there were some that really surprised me. I was actually one of the people who was saying Grand Theft Auto 5 is probably going to come out on PC eventually, but they're not going to remake it next gen because Rockstar doesn't do that. And I'm kind of happy I got disproved, but it is not only coming out to PC, it was shown like it was premiered on the PlayStation 4 first, but it will also be coming out for the Xbox One. So if you have an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 or a good PC, you will be able to play Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, I've already played it. I absolutely loved it, as you all know, on Xbox 360. However, the only complaint I have about it so far is, from what I have heard, there's exclusive content on the PlayStation 4, and it's like, I'm planning on getting it on PC. I'm planning on getting it there. I don't want to also get it on the PlayStation 4 just for that exclusive content, but more than likely what's going to happen is I will probably just GameFly it for the PlayStation 4 so I could play it on there. But there were some good announcements like that. The PlayStation TV, that's going to be coming out as well, which is essentially the Vita TV, which came out in Japan a few months ago, which is pretty much, you know, a on-demand Vita game system that hooks up to your TV through HDMI. Very happy about that. And, first I want to also talk about Microsoft as well. Microsoft did a great job. They only talked about TV one time. Their conference was, very entertaining. And ever since Phil Spencer showed up, good updates have come out, good policy changes have been made, and we got a conference full of games. Now, there were some people that complained about it, and they're saying, oh, well, you know, last year's conference was so bad that it wasn't hard to top. Listen, last year's conference, they were trying to push out this system, and there was the big elephant in the room, which they didn't even address. In case you don't know, the big elephant in the room was the DRM that was on the Xbox One prior to its release. They did not talk about it all, and oh, man. Last year, E3, Sony won it hands down. Like, even the people who are hardcore Xbox fanatics, I don't know how you could deny Sony winning E3 of 2013. In case you don't know, with that Xbox DRM, Microsoft at the conference did not speak about it. They did not really talk about it at E3. Don Matrick, which I'm so glad he was fired for, came out and said when he was asked about the DRM, he said, well, you know, we have a product for people who do not have internet access, and it's called the Xbox 360. Sony came out, and first off, I'm so disappointed Jack Tritton has stepped down, because he was an awesome guy. But second, Jack Tritton came on stage near the end of E3 2013, and with just like this little, he was trying not to smile the whole time, but he was just like, yeah, we are not going to have any DRM on our system. It was pew 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 at Microsoft, but he was saying you do not need to check in once every 24 hours. We are not going to have any unneeded, you know, DRM game sharing available on there. Before he can even finish his sentences, the whole crowd just erupts in screaming and applause, and then people are chanting Sony. For I want to say like a minute, he couldn't even speak because it was so loud in that auditorium. I will say, though, Sony had the better games this time around. If you watch the Xbox conference, it has more hype, for sure. Microsoft always puts on good conferences, in my opinion, but Sony had the better games. Absolutely. Like, I looked at the lists when I looked at them later, and I'm like, if I could only choose one system, I think I'm going to choose the PlayStation 4 based on the new games that are going to come out, especially since there were a decent amount of exclusives. But I will also say, with Microsoft, good job to you all, because you did a great job showing what's going to be coming out, showing some good exclusives, and you finally talked about ID at Xbox, which is the indie development at Xbox for the Xbox One. Now, on here, you really didn't see anything related to any of the other stuff. By other consoles, I want to say it's like we're kind of phasing out the last generation, or the current one. I didn't see any mentions about the Xbox 360. I only saw like 1 or 2 photos of the PlayStation 3 during Sony's conference, and Nintendo, because, well, Sony's focused on the Vita and the PS4, which, man, I love the Vita so much, and I want it to succeed. And same with Nintendo. They did a Nintendo Direct. They didn't do an actual conference, but their Direct was great. I thought they did an excellent job with it, and it was much better and less awkward than last year's Direct. I have to turn on my monitors again here because I have them set up like that. But much better than last year's Direct. And they had some good games, too. They really showed what they're going to be putting out on the system. They're doing a great job promoting the Wii U. They're doing a great job promoting the 3DS as well. Mario Kart 8 is out right now. There's going to be more stuff coming out for it. It's already selling systems. If that doesn't sell systems, this winter, if you don't pick it up for the 3DS, the new Super Smash Bros. For Wii U is going to come out. If that doesn't sell systems, there's going to be an open-world Zelda game. There's going to be Zelda Hyrule Warriors, which isn't really a Zelda game in lore, but hey, it looks fun. And there's going to be a ton of other great titles. With Sony, for example, they got to show Destiny on there, which was great. There were a ton of exclusive titles, and just nothing but excitement. And really, exclusives this year were pretty damn great. With the Xbox, we also got Sunset Overdrive. They talked about Halo 5 just a little bit. And you know what? Screw you. I am excited for a remake. They have the Master Chief Collection, which is Halo 1 through 4. It is going to have 1,000 gamer score for each game. It's going to have Halo Anniversary, Halo 2 Anniversary, which, in case you don't know, you can play both engines on those games. They're being completely redone, you know, visual-wise. And then the exciting thing is, with each one, it's going to have the same multiplayer, except I really hope with Halo 1, they bring back the Halo multiplayer. Not the Reach multiplayer, the Halo multiplayer. But with Halo 2, it was such a big deal that they even demonstrated it and showed a few pros playing for about a minute, but the Halo 2 multiplayer is there. It's a very exciting time to have an Xbox One if you're a Halo fan. You also get a sneak peek and kind of a preview of the Halo TV show with it, and you're going to get access to the Halo 5 Guardians beta. Honestly, when they said they're making a Halo remake, I already had my pre-order set. And then they just stacked and stacked and stacked, and psh, I'm a big Halo fan, you all. I'm going to admit it. I'm a big Halo fan. But that doesn't mean that that is my only priority with things. With Sony, for example, one thing I liked was that they said, you know, the infamous Second Son DLC is not going to require the game. It's going to be standalone as well. If you have the game, though, you do get a few bonuses. But that's nice for people like me who played through infamous Second Son and do not own it. I just gameflied it. I didn't see a reason to purchase it. But the new DLC looks very good because I did like the characters and the storyline in infamous Second Son. Another thing as well, when they showed Far Cry 4, it looks fantastic on the PlayStation 4. However, I did see online that they're going to be setting it up so if you want to play co-op on Far Cry 4 with your buddies, they do not need to own copies of Far Cry 4. Now, I don't see all the details on it, but I'm assuming it's going to be something like they could just kind of download a trial version of Far Cry 4, which will only allow them to play the game if they can get invited into a game with someone who owns a copy of Far Cry 4. But that on itself is very impressive, so I mean, it's probably going to be one of those things where people are going to try and abuse it and be like, okay, let's all get Far Cry 4, you know, we'll pitch in $15 each, or like, what, 16 something if you're in Canada because everything went up by $5 or $10. But we're all going to get copies. We'll all pitch in for Far Cry 4, and then one person hosts it, and then we'll all join. I'm sure that's going to happen, but that's really enticing at the same time, too. I mean, what if I want to play Far Cry 4, and a friend of mine is kind of iffy about the game? I'll just tell them, oh, well, just go onto the PlayStation Store, download this file, and you can join in the full game with me if you want to, if I own it. So very exciting things going on this E3, and of course there were all the big games coming out, all the new announcements and everything, way too many to count. Now, I didn't see E3 being as big of a deal as it was last year. I mean, last year, granted, there was the console war going on, and one thing I was actually surprised with was, thinking back on it, at Microsoft's conference, they did not even mention the Xbox One going down in price. In case you do not know, the first day of E3, June 9th, Microsoft released their Xbox One without a Kinect bundle, which they are selling for $400 console alone. It is the same console, except it does not have the Kinect bundled in with it. And I thought that was something they could really promote and push, because there's several people. They either said, I will not buy an Xbox One until it's $400, or I will not buy an Xbox One until the Kinect is not included and it's cheaper. And you got both. You can pay $100 less for a peripheral that you really don't need and you might not want for the system. So that's all great. But overall, they did a fantastic job with E3 this year. I was late on all my videos and I apologize, but there was nothing I could do, because in case you don't know, I have been, which I'm sure you could tell from the change of scenery back here if you haven't seen any of my videos in a while, but I have moved to, come on monitors, turn on. I have moved temporarily because I am now interning in Illinois, but come August I will be going back to Kansas. So I'm dealing with this for now, and also my internet is very bad up here. Its download and upload is about a gigabyte an hour. And granted that normally, like, those E3 videos that I made, each one was at least, like, 3 gigabytes. I just left my laptop on overnight to upload them. So that's why if you were right there when my videos uploaded, a few of them uploaded at, like, 4 in the morning or 6 in the morning. Because I was sleeping during that time, but I just set up my stuff to upload. Anyways, that's really all I have to say about. So let me know what you all thought of E3 2014. Was there stuff you were excited about? Was there stuff you wanted to see? Personally, I wanted to see Kingdom Hearts 3, but I also knew that I probably was not going to see Kingdom Hearts 3. And probably the biggest surprise to me was two things. First, Grand Theft Auto 5, and second, Conquer coming out for Project Spark, which, so bittersweet, you all. Conquer the Squirrel, I want him to have a new game. He deserves a new game, especially with what Microsoft has done to Rare. Because one thing, I just want to go off on a little tangent here. If you have played Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and you really get into the game, you can tell that Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts was supposed to be Banjo 3E, or Banjo-Kazooie 3. However you want to call it. I prefer Banjo 3E. But it was supposed to be that. And you could tell somewhere in development they were making it Banjo 3E, and then all of a sudden, somebody came up from a higher up and they said, you know what? Let's make this a car game. So they just kind of took all the assets and retooled them a little bit instead of making new maps because that would have been too costly. And that's such a disappointment to see you all, especially since that game came out in, what, like 2009, 2010 maybe? Maybe even 2008, I don't know. So it's been that long since we've had them. We have Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie out on the Xbox Live Marketplace, so it's not like Microsoft cannot push out another one. But it'd be nice to see another Perfect Dark. That's good. It'd be nice to see Banjo 3. It'd be nice to see, at minimum, a next-generation remake of Conker. Now, the reason why I'm saying this as well is because some people might be annoyed because it has already been remade one time. In case you don't know, Conker's Bad Fur Day was out on the N64 in 2001 when the N64 was getting phased out. It got remade on the original Xbox in 2005. However, again, that's about, you know, the year 2004, 2005, so about the time the current generation of systems was about ready to come out if it was not out already. So therefore, Conker's Bad Fur Day is about $70 minimum if you buy it on eBay in bad or decent condition. Conker Live and Reloaded is about a $40, $50 game, and it actually is backwards compatible on the Xbox 360, but one thing is the multiplayer is gone because you cannot get onto original Xbox servers anymore. So if they made a remake of Conker Live and Reloaded, I wouldn't mind, and in fact, I would probably pay $50, $60 for that. Microsoft, just listen, okay? Just listen. Anyways, this is Mr. Mario, signing off. Thank you for watching, everyone.